Hello everyone, welcome back to Clusterbmilkshake. I am your host along with support puppet Mr. Chicken. Yes. Today we are going to talk about sadistic supply as self-punishment. Now, this is punishment for the narcissistic person, and we'll get into the masochistic side as well. So let's begin. A narcissist equates love with pain. You will notice that if you are over loving with a narcissistic person, that you are going to be dismissed, pushed aside. They think that you're going to be overly forgiving of them, where they can continuously do whatever the hell that they want, and you are a doormat. Okay? All right. So, as young children, mommy or caregivers, it's always mom's fault, right? Gave us a skewed idea of what love is. So you are loved if you're good, and you felt hated when you were bad. Now, of course, it depends on what bad is in the eye of the parent. It depends on what love is in the eye of the parent. You know, are you obedient? Is it, you have to be the best at school? You have to, I have to show the whole world on social media how awesome my kid is. If you get in trouble at school, you're going to be demonized in the home. If you talk back, if you don't eat your broccoli, okay? Tried to get positive attention from the parent, but the parent pushed you aside. You were annoying. Now, I know a lot of parents, you'll have a hard day at work or whatever, and come home, the dishes aren't done, your teenage daughter was supposed to do the dishes, you're pissed off, and you just start yelling. We get it. Okay, this is normal, shitty behavior from the parent. You can just, tell the kid, don't forget about the dishes, okay, so I can start dinner. Anyway, so then you have the used as a anger dump or made fun of and nitpicked by the parent. And this can be consciously or unconsciously. Even if it's consciously, they will confabulate the past, make up a reason why they are doing it in the present moment or even back in the day, okay? We don't remember, how we felt in those moments. We're trying to protect ourselves. The parent is just trying to protect ourselves from shame. Okay? Sexual assault as a child. We are coveted through fake care, coerced into letting these acts happen. We are a sexual object, all right? And so we're going to equate abuse with love, because it wasn't just the act that happened, whether it's emotional, physical, psychological, or sexual abuse. This is what messes with our head. That's why we do not trust what real authentic love would be. We don't know how to receive it without being paranoid, without thinking that there's another motive for it. Okay, and so our defenses are going to want to push that away, and sometimes you'll see that it can be very vile and sometimes violent. Now, sadistic supply isn't the same as being a true sadist. A narcissist wants to hurt you so you will react and hurt them back. This can be an unaware behavior, big time, because I would do things to provoke a partner to attack me back, and then I would play the victim. Like, why are you being so abusive and blah, 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 because I'm going to justify my behavior for attacking you first. Also, as you know, attacks can be small criticisms on you, devaluations, nitpicking you, telling you about, I don't like what you're wearing, or slowly, say something bad about the friend group you're hanging around with. Whatever it is, to me, I'm not aware that this is abusive to you. I'm not aware that envy's involved, or my grandiose need that I'm the best and you need to listen to my guidance. I'm not even thinking about that shit, okay? It's not an excuse, it's a fact. Now, you reacting to that, you being upset, you not just blowing it off or whatever, which you should do. You shouldn't react. You should just fucking ignore, especially if it's a parent. What you want to do is low contact, never share anything personal about yourself, just in case they're always criticizing you, okay? Anyways, so you reacting and hurting them back after hurting you, it's going to bring them back into their home environment. So this is our normal, okay? This chaos, because, sometimes you think borderline flavor, how their emotions are extreme and everything. With a narcissist, they're not going to think that they bring chaos, because they're not doing all these emotionally dysregulated things all the time. It's just these little picks at you, pick at your self-esteem and things like that. We're projecting our low self-esteem outward. So we're tearing you apart in little, covert ways or whatever. Sometimes it will be straight out and very hurtful, but, I want you to remember that they could be small little digs or whatever. And where was I going with this? Oh, and so we're going to think that you're bringing chaos into our life. And we believe it. We're not looking at ourselves. We don't see our own projections. Okay, you're our mirror. So everything is coming out here onto you. This is how we feel about ourselves, not being good enough, not being whatever, This is our false self being, I'm better than everybody else, so I have to dump all my ugly stuff outward into the world. All right? Anyways, the masochistic part. Now, for me, my self-punishment, so I wouldn't, consciously, try to fuck with you just so you would get angry and fight back with me. But my masochistic side of wanting to be punished, and, I use wanting loosely because I'm not like, yeah, I want to fucking, but it's dating people who are woman haters, who are alcoholics, who are porn addicted, who are compulsive liars. And the reason why I would date people like this, because it feels like home, feels like dad, and I get to punish my father through you. So even though that I know these things, I see you drink all the time, you have told me through your words or straight out said, or, watching a lot of porn, women are objects, that I'm going to have resentments towards my father, and you get to be the garbage can that I'm going to vomit all over. Okay? So this is why data mining For me, you know, they say psychopaths do that. Narcissists might fall into shit, you know, the shared fantasy with you or whatever. But I'm actually checking out things that I can use against you when you get out of line with me, or if you nitpick and be a destructive force for me. I have to have some dirt on you. This is why when people are like, you know, I'm the best, you know, in the whole world, and the narcissist came into my life and just, you know, they just wanted to destroy me. No, that's not real. That's not real. A narcissist is looking to boost their own ego, their own self-esteem, mirroring back good qualities about you to boost them up, because you're going to think they're the greatest person in the world, which you do believe. And then, you know, they're going to see that you aren't this person who deserves to be on a pedestal, because that's their own fantasy and delusional world that they put you on. And then you get torn down over time. Now, somebody with more psychopathy characteristics, they will data mine you, and they are collecting all of this information on you. This is why I tell you guys to zip it. Another thing that you can do is something that I do is feed false information to this person. False information, which means if they use it against you later, it's not going to hurt you because it's not real. And when they do use it against you, now you know they're a piece of shit. Okay? It's bait. All right? All right. I'm not saying be a compulsive liar throughout your whole fucking relationship. Just one thing. Just one thing. Okay? All right. Now, a pure sadist gets off solely from humiliating you. I feel like I'm going to burp. I had a Red Bull. Excuse me. A pure sadist gets off solely from humiliating you, having power over your negative emotions, inflicting pain, and not having any trigger reaction except a boner or a brain boner. Okay? So they're not hurting you to be hurt back. It's solely just to hurt you. The refrigerator showed up. Yay! All right. You, to a sadist, you are just an object. One thing I thought about when I was taking notes here was the old Twilight Zone episode of astronauts on a different planet, and then they came across, one dude came across this little village of tiny little microscopic people, okay? And he was, you know, this giant, right? And he is their god, and he's telling them what to do and everything. And if he doesn't get what he wants from them, he starts crushing them and killing them with this boot, okay? That's a sadist. Do what I want, or I'm going to hurt you. All right. A narcissist can feel bad after fights. A run-of-the-mill narcissist will have remorse and shame, and they can try to make it up to you in small or grand ways. They want mommy and daddy to love them again. Okay? Now, a lot of, people will say breadcrumbing if it's very small gestures, or something really big, knowing that you're sick of their shit or whatever. Even physical abusers will, after they're done crying, they'll bring you a bunch of flowers and they'll try to act like, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. Shit like that. These are the ones that, whether they're feeling guilt and I don't know, but to me, it's like everything is always about us. So shame is I'm bad, right? Losing you provide certain, sex services, support, emotional support, security, you know what I mean? And losing that is what I believe we're upset about. You know, I don't believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, I do not believe that because we do not know what real love is, we don't know, what unconditional love is. We're so paranoid with it. And we're going to hurt you for how dare you love us. Because I know that you're abusive inside. Something, it's almost like we have to chase you to the punch, We have to sabotage the environment by starting a fight or even breaking up with you before you break up with us, There's that whole thing with hypersensitivity to any sort of criticism, just coming to us with a certain issue or whatever, and then we're going to dismiss it, blame shift it, deny that that's even happening, and we believe in the way that we think about things, even the denials. We can brainwash ourselves into believing, that's not what I meant, and that's not, it's going to drive you fucking crazy town, all right? So now, because, we want mommy and daddy back to love us, but do not love them too much. Do not go overboard, and do not get comfortable, because it's going to happen again. Every relationship has their ups and downs. When you please watch my video on empathy. I think it's called How Psychopaths Fake Empathy, Where Narcissists Fail. And I talk about what empathetic listening is, okay? And if you cannot talk to your person and both of you, not one or the other wanting your feelings validated, but both of you are going to validate each other's feelings, understand where the other person was coming from, and actually growing from that, okay? Because you don't want to be having the same fight over and over and over again. You're supposed to grow from it. And then that is what's going to bring you together in authentic love, okay? All right, so I hope that was helpful. Have a great day. What do we say? Namaste.